Hi, it's Crafty Lady Abby, and today I'm going to share with you the brand new Fabric Creations line that was sent to me by Plaid. Now, I'm going to be making tutorials using these in the future, but for today I wanted to show you what the products look like before I start playing with them. So the first thing is this pack of little foam cubes, and these are made to apply the fabric ink to the stamps nice and flat. You could probably use other foam too, but these are especially designed for the products. The next thing is this brush, and this is meant to help clean out the ink from the little crevices of the stamps. And you can see a little example of what that is. And there's instructions for everything inside the packaging. The next is this foam pad, and this is meant to go underneath of your fabric or your paper before you start stamping, and this helps with making sure that your design, because it has all these little details on it, it wants to make sure that it's nice and flat, and that you're getting the full amount of details. And the next things are all the stamps. This is a feather one. Now, the special thing about these stamps, they look like wood blocks, right? So what they are is actually resin, and they're poured and designed to look like the wood blocks that you've probably seen, you know, they're hand carved and stuff like that. But this is actually molded from those type of hand carved stamps. You have a little details on them that make them look kind of like wood. But these will hold up a lot better than, say, a wood stamp, because they're not going to be broken down by moisture or anything like that. It's resin, which is like a plastic, so it'll hold up really nice. Next one is a stamp that has these double swirlies, and this would be like a repeating pattern. You can use around a border or make stripes or things like that. This one is another stamp that we use for border. You can see all those nice details in there. Lots of little tiny ones. And so I'm going to test these out to see how well these pick up using fabric and paper with the supplies that were included. Next one is one of the nice big square block. It's a little bit tapered down, so it's easy for you to hold it. And, you know, nice repeating chevron. This is a little one, kind of like a Native American looking pattern. And great for right now, because a lot of tribal and geometric stuff is really popular. But in long term, it'll work too. This is another little one, probably Indian inspired, as are a lot of block. So this is a little one, probably Indian inspired, as are a lot of the hand carved blocks. So this one is great individual for little projects, or you could probably make a pattern with it. This one is a heart with some swirlies. So you see the heart. Reminds me kind of the, I don't know what it's called, but the heart that has like the hands around it. It's somewhere in the UK. This is another repeating design. Same thing, very Native American, tribal looking. So this would be great for border and repeating stripes and things like that. This one is another little one. This is actually called a Meander. It is like Greco-Roman, but you'll see it a lot in kind of historical things, but you've seen it a lot through the centuries since then. It's another little swirly design. Same thing, you can make a little pattern with that. This one reminds me of arrows. Now you can make a chevron design like it shows at the bottom if you wanted, or you can make arrows, which are super popular too. These are leaves. You see all those great details in there. I'm probably going to be using this one soon for a project. These are little hatch marks, kind of like basket weaving. So this would be cool if you did, you know, something where you want it to look woven. Especially great if you have to do things we get to sew stitches and whatnot. So some of the bigger ones are down in here. This one has all sorts of details. It reminds me of, I think it's called medallion or a mandala. So it has all those little details, and that would be poured sand. But, you know, they're inspired by that kind of area of the world. This is I would assume it's a daisy because of all the layers of petals. But daisies are, you know, kind of a classic flower, but also with kind of the revival of the 90s, it's really more popular than it was. It'd be great for a garden theme as well. This one has hexagons. This is a repeating pattern, kind of like quilting. And of course, great for geometric looks. This one kind of reminds me of arrows. It's probably a little bit Native American inspired as well. This one is one of my favorites. It's an elephant, which would be Indian inspired. And so I really love all the details of this one, so I'll be using this one a lot. This is another big one. I'm using this in a project coming up probably in the next few days, if not next month. I'm going to be making a big fascinator and using that feather stamp as well. This one is a butterfly, and if you've seen the tattoos I have, butterflies are one of my favorite things, one of my favorite insects. So I like all the little whimsical details, and this would be great because it has all those big spaces you can color it into. It's another Native American tribal design. Nice and big chunky stamp. A few more down here. This one is a paisley and super popular in Indian designs. So you see a very common theme. This one, little swirls, great for repeating patterns. So the other things we have in here are a great new product, which is actually a fabric ink, but it applies just like paint would to the stamps. So this is one of those nice big block stamps, and these are those foam cubes. So you put a little bit of this on a plate, dip the foam cube in there, and apply it on there, make sure it's nice and even. Then use that this foam pad underneath of your fabric, and I'm probably going to use it mostly for fabric since that particular ink is made for that. But if you're using paper or some other type of non-fabric material, you could probably use just regular paint. The special things about these particular inks is, unlike fabric paint, they actually don't have any weight to them. So much like when you dye fabric, and you don't lose any of the texture of the fabric, it still stays flexible, and you just change the color basically. So what this allows to happen is you're able to stamp onto the fabric and you're not having extra thickness on there. You're not having any of the flexibility of your fabric disappear just by applying an image. So this keeps that, and I'm going to test this out because I saw it at the CHA show back in January and got to kind of look at it and ask some questions about it. So I knew what it was, things like, what were the stamps made out of, and finding out they were made out of resin, which is a great material because you're not going to get wear on it like you would if it was wood. So this is kind of like a burgundy color. It has a wine, which is great for the Marsala color, which is also a wine. This one is crimson. This is poppy, nice bright red. This is hot pink. So I'm going to see if this is actually a bright hot pink, because I tend to have problems with hot pinks that tend to be a little bit more the purpley, kind of muted side. This one is grapefruit, nice and bright. This one is carnation. This is nude, and I don't know why it's called nude because there's not a lot of skin tones that are this color, and I find that word kind of strange. I would probably just call it like a light peach. This one is Tangerine, Blood Orange, Marigold, Real Yellow versus Imaginary Yellow. This is Lime. Have African Violet, so those beautiful flowers. Navy, always a good basic. This is Deep Teal. This kind of reminds me more like a forest green, so it'll be interesting to see it on fabric and paper. This is Aqua. This is Shamrock, nice bright green. Turquoise. This is Gray Mist. Pure Gold. So this is nice to have, you know, the metallic pure gold. I want to see how glittery this is. White, always a good basic. You probably mix it with some of the other colors to change the depth of them. Sterling Silver, so metallic sterling silver. Really great, complements that gold. Again, I want to see how bright and shiny this is. This is Ganache, which is actually a chocolate. And this is black. Again, a nice basic to have. So you can darken some colors. So that is the full line. Now I've been kind of hunting around trying to figure out where these are in stores because they are already available in stores. It seems like the Hobby Lobby has them. And there's a few different locations people have said that they're available and they found them. You can definitely check some other stores. I'm not quite sure which other ones would have them, but Hobby Lobby is for sure. Alright, so that is all for this unboxing. There are 24 different colors of inks, and there are 22 different stamps and 3 different tools that go with this line. I was fortunate enough for Plaid to send me the full line so I can play with all of it. And I'll have tutorials coming up showing how to use these for making projects and on some different materials. So that'll be a nice review of them. If you want to see what I'm making with these, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find more tutorials on my blog, which is craftyladyabby.com. And if you want to see sneak previews of all the different things that I make, you can follow me on different social media. All those links will be below. I hope you guys have a wonderful crafty day.